Okay, so integrated reporting is a very new concept where we are trying to integrate our financial report with our uh, long-term value creation of the organization. Not the value creation means not only the financial value, but also the reputation, goodwill, and the value which we are creating to the society as a whole. For example, if we are running a factory in an area, how the factory is impacting the environment, what are the positive impact we are giving to the environment, the society we are working. So these kind of things we normally show on the CSR reports, right? Have you heard about CSR report, corporate social responsibility? Like those things like organizations used to uh, issue CSR reports. In some countries, the CSR, corporate social responsibility, is a compulsory activity to be done by the corporates. Just a second. There was some connection issue for us. Okay. Anyway, let's continue. So what I was talking was CSR reporting. So corporate social responsibility is something, it's part of compulsory in some countries, and that should be reported to the government authorities on a regular basis. Like in this corporate social responsibilities, what companies do is they do a lot of charity work, like they provide food for the needy, healthcare facilities, free healthcare facilities to public. These are the normal corporate we say CSR steps done by the companies. So when it comes to integrated reporting, we look more from the organizations rather than just CSR reporting, rather than just reporting the corporate social responsibility. When an organization works, so for example, when you work in an organization, not only the company pay you money, right? You get something additional. What is that? In addition to the salary, what else you get as an employee? Come on, anyone? When you work in an organization, in addition to salary, what else you get? Nothing you get. You get corporate trainings, right? You get like what we say, personality development skills you achieve. You achieve a lot of personal skills as well as technical skills. As part of the working in an organization, there is a value creation for the HR, like for the employees. So these are all long-term benefit for the company. Why? Because when an organization trains an employee, they are not going to get the benefit just for 1 month or 2 months. They are going to get until the employee is working in your organization. So that's the value of giving training to employees. So these all kinds of value creation is going to be reported in a report that's called integrated report, where we combine our financial and non-financial informations. Like the non-financial information means this value creating on HR or other activities or environment. These kind of activities we combine together in a report. For that, we prepare an integrated report. For this preparing an integrated report, there are some requirements or some ideas to be integrated into our brains. Otherwise, we can't prepare an integrated report. So those things we will discuss here. So what is an integrated report? Many organizations have begun to report more than just the financial statement, financial state. As investors, regulators, and society as a whole have become more demanding, especially in the wake of 2008 financial crisis, because for not only financial information but also uh, non-financial information has grown. In the past, additional information was present in a separate published sustainability report or corporate social responsibility reports, but many organizations worldwide are now shifting towards integrated report. An integrated report is designated to provide a holistic view of the organization by connecting financial and non-financial information to the long-term value creation possibilities of the organization. Like for example, if you are talking about company giving training to employees. So where does this amount show? This financial part will be shown in the P&L, right, as HR expenses or HR training. Those costs will be shown, but the value created by this expense is never shown in the financial statement. So this value creation is shown in the integrated reporting. Okay, so then okay, next this yes.
Sorry again. This value creation of training our employees will be shown in CSR report.
No, not in CSR report, in the integrated report.
Okay.
Okay. So next, the integrated reporting framework is brought by International Integrated Reporting Council. Okay. They have built the framework, what is to be included, what are the structures and all that. Coming to integrated reporting, integrated thinking, and integrated report. So traditionally, the main goal of corporate reporting was disclosure of the organization's financial information to increase transparency and accountability. However, organizations have come to on more intangible assets from only 17% in 1975 to 80% currently. To represent this value accurately, organization became to provide more non-financial information, often in the form of separate CSR report. However, such information was usually scattered and incomplete and often lacked consistency and comparability. Integrated reporting is a relatively new concept. It gained momentum with the creation of International Integrated Reporting Council in 2010. This global entity comprises of regulators, organizations, accounting firms, and standard setters issued the International Integrated Reporting Framework in 2013. This principle-based framework gives guidance to organizations preparing integrated reports. The objective is to bring together capital allocation and corporate activities to create financial well-being and sustainable expansion through the use of integrated thinking and integrated reporting. Although the integrated reporting framework primarily focuses on providers of financial capital in the private sector, its mission is to expand to all other organizations like public companies also. Then integrated reporting. So as defined above, integrated reporting is a process founded on integrated thinking that results in periodic integrated report by an organization, but about value creation over time and related communications regarding aspect of value creation. The definition of integrated reporting requires an understanding of the three major concepts, that is integrated thinking, integrated report, and value creation. So coming to integrated thinking. So as of now, when we are now just financial accountants, right? So when we enter or record a data regarding we say the corporate training, which we employee training, which we provide to employees. So what we normally think, we only see the financial aspect, right? Do we think any other aspect? No, right? So when it comes to integrated thinking, we are now forced to think about what is the value creation by this expense. Clear? So if you don't integrate your financial and non-financial concept and value creation concept together, you can't create an integrated report. So basically, when you're doing integrated reporting, you should have an integrated thinking concept. Clear? So, so three major concepts are integrated thinking, integrated report, and value creation. These three concepts will be explained later. Then through integrated reporting, an organization is able to explain how strategy, corporate governance, employee and management performance, and prospects lead to value creation over time. Then, in the context of the entities and external environment, value is created by providing a combination of financial and non-financial information. And data reporting enables an organization to tell its own unique story of value creation. The integrated reporting process is based on integrated thinking within the organization and the integrated framework. These concepts interact. Integrated reporting is not a static concept, but a process that continuously improves reporting internal decision making, and integrated thinking. Then integrated thinking. Integrated thinking is a process of decision making, management, and reporting. It is based on the connectivity and interdependence among the organization's specific factors that affect the organization's ability to create value over time. Then integrated thinking is a prerequisite to integrated reporting. Understanding the influences financial and non-financial factors have on each other is necessary to report in an integrated manner about the performance of the organization and make well-informed decisions for long-term value creation. Although integrated thinking and through integrated thinking, an organization learns how the interdependencies among its financial and non-financial aspect interact and affect value creation. Thus, integrated thinking is the basis for the external communicated integrated report. So here, when you understand how to think integratedly, like integratedly thinking about financial and non-financial aspect, which is going to affect the value creation. So whatever money you spend, that should create some kind of value. Whether this value is a long-term value creation or not, that you have to find out. Then integrated thinking cannot be done in a standalone department. Different departments must work together to measure and report the value creation of the organization for both itself and to its environment. Then integrated report. The product of integrated reporting and integrated thinking is the integrated report. In the context of the organization's external environment, an integrated report concisely communicates how strategy, governance, performance, and prospects lead to value creation over the short, medium, and long term. Integrated reports should be prepared in accordance with Integrated Reporting Framework published in 2013 by IARC. An integrated report provides a holistic view of organization for all relevant stakeholders. An integrated report is not mere combination of annual report with a separate sustainability or corporate social responsibility report. It should be designated identifiable communication. So when we prepare an integrated report, this report should be addressing to all our stakeholders. Who all are our stakeholders? Give me some examples. Who are the stakeholders? The shareholders, right? The owners of the company, customers, suppliers.
Yeah, everyone interested in the company.
Everyone interested in the company. So when it comes to the integrated reporting, we have to specify or we have to mention who all are being affected, to whom all are we are creating value. Are we creating value for the shareholders? Are we creating value for the customers? Are we creating value for the environment or the society where we exist? So these kind of things should be reported in the integrated reporting. Okay. The purpose of the integrated report. The main goal of an organization's integrated report is to provide to give providers of financial capital more information about how the entity creates value over a period of time. An integrated report also benefit other stakeholders who are interested in the entity's effectiveness in creating value, such as employees, customers, suppliers, communities, and which the entity is located, and assorted regulators. So when it comes to value creation for customers, how does value creation happens to customer? Give me one example. How
Like when we give them after service, after sell service, like for example, we are creating for them a value here for a product they are buying.
After sale services, or when we sell some product to customer, we provide good quality products to the customers, and it creates a value to the customer. For example, you are buying a car. A car also provides what you need, in addition to a value creation for you also. So those things are the what we say value creation parts for the customers. And suppliers, maybe our prompt payments, those things are actually value creation for the suppliers. If you're going beyond the credit terms and making a problem for suppliers, it's not good. So these kind of things are when we provide to environment, like we as a organization, we used to provide public street lights for the area where we work, our organization exists. So these kind of value creation. So what happens when we provide these facilities to the public will be having a good image of the organization. It will help the organization in long run. See, then fundamental concepts of integrated reporting. The main purpose of integrated report is to show how an organization creates value over time. An entity's value creation process is influenced by the external environment in which the organization operates, relationship with stakeholders, and various resources. That means the 6 capital defined below. We'll discuss about that. Then these topics are addressed in the integrated report based on the 3 required fundamental concepts, that is value creation, the 6 capitals, and the value creation process. By focusing on the fundamental concept defined by the integrated reporting framework, an organization provides not only financial information, but also context about its operations and goals over the short, medium, and long term. Then fundamental concept 1, that is the value creation. When an organization sells a product, it creates value to its for itself in the form of revenue, and indirectly to the customer in the form of which depends on the nature of the goods or services sold. This process affects not only the financial aspect of the organization, but also its reputation and its relationship with its stakeholders. In selling product to customers, an organization is operating within a social environment, and the outcomes of this interaction affect the organization's social license to operate. That means, for example, as a company, we are providing some product to customers, and customers are ultimately not satisfied about products. So what will happen to the company?
If the customers are not satisfied to our products?
Yeah, customers are not satisfied on our product. So what happens? Customers will go away from our company, right?
Loyalty. There will be no loyalty for our company.
Yeah, there will not be any value. So what happens? They will not purchase from our company. Ultimately, we will be isolated in the market. No one will purchase from purchase our product. That is called a social license to operate. The society will not accept us to operate. Okay, then when the value created by the organization, say organization for itself or for others is material, it should be incorporated in the integrated report. When there is a value creation for an organization and for others, that means other stakeholders, the material amount, and that should be reported in the integrated report. Then externalities also need to be included in the integrated report. Externalities are the positive and negative effects on the capitals not owned by the organization itself. So what are the capitals means? Capital means value creation depends on different sources. Defined in 6 capitals, that is financial capital, natural capital, manufactured capital, intellectual capital, human capital, social and relationship capital. So when we work in an organization or the organization as a whole in a society, what happens when the company makes profit? Which capital increases out of these 6?
Financial
Capital increases. Also, then some companies providing when they manufacture, they release a lot of carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide. So what happened to which capital is affected?
It's either natural or social and relationship.
Natural capital is affected. Natural capital is affected. So what happened? The organization's natural capital decreases, right? Okay. Then, for example, a company finds out a new patent. What happens? The intellectual capital increases, or the company provides training facilities to employees. Then its human capital increases. Clear? So this 6 capitals are affected by the regular course of business. They are increased, decreased, or transformed by the activities and output of the organization. For example, a seller, by selling a product and making a profit, financial capital is increased. Having a toxic substance leaked in the plant, natural capital is decreased. By filing a patent on a new product, intellectual capital is increased. Then not all capitals are equally important for a given organization. Also, sometimes one capital may need to decrease in order to make another capital increase. Value can be created over different capitals and is not necessarily measured in financial capital. Value creation in the sense of integrated reporting is not only seen as an increase in the overall stock of capital, but also the preservation of its overall value. So coming to this, for example, I'm a chemical company. I mean chemical manufacturing company. So when I increase my financial capital, that means when I make profit, what happens naturally? My natural capital will decrease, right? I am polluting the nature. In addition to that, what else? Sometimes some capital may not be important for all some companies. All the six capitals are not necessary for all companies. Like some companies, they don't really need manufacturing capital. Like for example, they are in the service sector. They don't need manufacturing capital. It doesn't affect their organization. Or sometimes intellectual capital is not used. They are not producing any patent, copyright, or anything. Then the intellectual capital doesn't apply to some organizations. Then description and interpretation of the capitals. Financial capital is the available pool of funds. It is a liquid capital available through financing for production or goods, production of goods or service, provision of services, that is equity, debt, investment, operational activities. The natural capital consists of the renewable and non-renewable environment resources and processes that provide goods or services that support organization's prosperity, that include land, water, air, minerals, biodiversity, and ecosystem. Then manufacturing capital consists of manufacturing tangible objects. It is a physical capital available for the production of goods or provision of services. Examples include plant, property, and equipment, and infrastructure such as roads and ports. Then manufactured capital is not about ownership, but about availability of the tangible objects. For example, the closure of a port in a company realized due to political irregularities decreases its manufactured capital, even though the port is not owned by the company itself. Clear? Then, intellectual capital is the intangible knowledge of the organization. It includes intellectual property like software, patents, copyrights, license, and organization capital like systems, procedures, and protocols. Employees' competencies are not intellectual capital, they are transferred to another organizations. Then comes the human capital, refers to employees' competencies, abilities, and experience, including training and development, ability and willingness to understand and implement the organization strategy, loyalty to the organization and motivation for the job, and support for governance, risk management, and ethics. Then social and relationship capital is a relationship of the organization with the environment in which it operates. This includes network between and among the organization, stakeholders, institutions, communities, and shareholders. Then brand recognition and external reputation of the organization. Key stakeholders' willingness to share information, maintain the value and organization goals. Value and goals of the organization and keep in touch with the organization's social license to operate. Then capitals in the integrated report. All six capitals need not be presented in every integrated report. Some capitals may not be relevant for a particular organization. Capitals need not be identified by the same name in every integrated report. Organizations are allowed to show the change in the value of the capital by combining them or by using different names. An integrated report need not be structured using the six capitals. The capital merely show how and through which vehicle value is created for the organization. The capital ensures that organizations at least think about all the different forms of capital affected by the operation. So here there are some examples of some companies and their capital portion and how they are going to measure it. When it comes to financial capital, Prudence Financial is an North American company which provides financial services. How they are measuring their financial capital is return on equity. Then General Electric is a technology company. They measure their integrated reporting on the basis of cash from operating activities. Then natural capital like Coca-Cola, they are using water, groundwater. So what they report is the water resources used. Then PostNL is a postal company. They measure their they report in the data reporting is the carbon dioxide emissions per package delivered. Then manufacturing company, there is Royal Perfume Platinum. They are into mining industry, so mining infrastructure above and below the ground, they will report. Then transit, that is a multi-cargo port, rolling stock, multi-cargo port which they have, and rolling stocks. Likewise, like in Philips, they show how much amount they have invested in research and development. Likewise, it goes. And in human capital, like SASOL, they consider skilled and experienced employees as their, we say, they report how much they have invested in skilled and experienced employees and what the value created. And in social and relationship capital, for example, Clorox has a number of employee volunteer hours they have provided. Then comes the fundamental concept, that is the value creation process. The value creation process consists of following elements, that is inputs. Inputs are the resources and relationship used in business activities. The organization obtains input from the external environment. The business model transforms inputs through business activities into outputs and outcomes. Business model is sensitive to changes in the quality, cost, and availability of inputs. It may or may not be able to adapt quickly to changes. Business activities are the core of the business model that transforms the input into output. Then outputs are the results of the organization's business activity. Outputs may be product, service, or byproduct, or wastage. Then outcomes are the internal and external effects of business activity and outputs on the capital. The outcomes relate directly to the external environment and are not necessarily controlled by the organization. Outcomes determine the status of new input. In this sense, the value creation process is a circular process. You understand how the value creation process is happening? Yusuf, fine.
Yes, simple steps, yes.
Then guiding principles and content elements of integrated reporting. So what are the principles which we have to follow when we are preparing an integrated report? So preparing an integrated report involves certain challenges. That is, the guiding principles are designed by the IARC to help prepare preparation of integrated reports, present information. The guiding principles are guidelines and cannot always be applied strictly. Judgment is need to be applied in these guidance because of the because they sometimes conflict. So these are guidelines means which is flexible. We can adopt according to our organization structure or organization needs. Then guiding principles, that is strategic focus and future orientation. The report should indicate how the strategy affects the ability to create value in the short, medium, and long term, how the strategy affects the capitals, and how the availability, quality, and affordability of capital contribute to value creation. Then connectivity of information. The integrated report should show a holistic picture of the interrelatedness of the different aspects of the organization. The report should explain how these factors affect the ability of the organization to create value over time. In stakeholders relationship, the key stakeholders and the quality of the relationship with the organization should be reported. Materiality, the organization should disclose information that has a substantial effect on its ability to create value over time. Conciseness and an integrated report should be clear and concise. Its judgment must be made as to what information should be included in the report. Reliability and completeness. An integrated report should be free of material errors. An integrated report must include all material information, whether it is positive or negative. Then consistency and comparability. The material information in an integrated report should be consistent over time. Changes and improvements made should be explained. Comparability among organizations is difficult due to the application of the IR framework to the specific situation of each organization. Then overview of the content elements. Each integrated report should contain the 9 content elements. Each of the content elements is explained in the framework and includes one question that should be answered in the integrated report. Answering questions rather than checking off a list of requirements makes the content of the integrated report adaptable for different organizations in different situations. The relationship among content elements. The content elements are interrelated. The information gathered from answering the question should be presented in a logical way. Then the content elements and questions posed are the following: organization overview and external environment. So in the integrated report, we should address these questions and answers. So what should the organization do, and what are the circumstances under which it operates? An integrated report identifies the market in which the organization operates, its mission and vision, uh, competitive landscape, quantitative information, stakeholder needs, environment, external environmental changes, and reaction to external environmental changes. So when we prepare a report as a premise, like when we start the report, we used to say the company name, right? When we prepare even the audit report, we mention the company name, in which industry we are working, where is the organization established. So same way, the integrated report also we have to mention the company's mission, vision statement, which area landscape it is working, what is the competitive nature. All those information should be given. Then governance. How does the organization's governance structure support its ability to create value in the short, medium, and long term? An integrated report provides insight about an organization's leadership structure, diversity, strategic decision-making processes, value and ethics, and linkage between remuneration and value creation. Then business model. What is the organization's business model? An organization's business model is part of its value creation process and is usually supported by narrative, identification of critical stakeholder, and other dependence and a diagram or flowchart. Then risk and opportunity. What are the specific risk and opportunity that affect the organization ability to create value over the short, medium, and long term, and how the organization dealing with them? Risk and opportunity may be internal or external or a combination. An assessment of materiality should be made in the event of identifying risk actually occurs. Then strategy and resource allocation. Where does the organization want to go and how does it intend to go there? So strategic objective, resource allocation plans, measurement of goal achievement are often included. The content element is closely linked to the business model and external environment. Then performances. To what extent has the organization achieved its strategic objective for the period, and what are its outcome in terms of effects of the capital? Quantitative and qualitative measures should be used. Linkages between historical performance and future plans are important. Then connections between financial performance and performance of other capital can be made. So here, what are the connections? Like how much we have spent for human resources and what are value creation which we have in the human resource capital. So that can be measured in the performance part. Then outlook. What challenges and uncertainties is the organization likely to encounter in pursuing its strategy, and what are the potential implications for its business model and future performance? An analysis is usually made of expectations about the future, possible changes and responses, and organization ability to react to those changes. Then, based off preparation and presentation, how does the organization determine what matters to include the integrated report and how are such matters quantified or evaluated? An overview of the materiality determination process is provided. Organization identifies the reporting standard and offer and other frameworks used in its preparation. Then general reporting guidelines. This item is the content element is not based on a question. It provides information about essential issues that should be considered during the preparation process, such as materiality, capital disclosures, and explanation of the business model. So coming to the value creation over time. So these are the capitals, like financial capital at the beginning. What happened to the capital based on our business model? Like what are the inputs we are taking, we are giving? What are the business activities? What we are producing, like any product or any service? If you're producing a product, what is the outcome of that product? Like for example, if you are producing chemical product, then what is the outcome? Whether it is going to affect the environment or not, all those things comes under the business model. Then comes organization governance, strategy and resource allocation, opportunity or risk, then future outlook and performances will be reported. Then how it is affecting our capital. When it comes here, We can analyze whether the financial capital is increased or decreased, national capital is increased or decreased, or manufacturing capital increased or decreased. Then adoption of integrated report. So when an organization newly adopt to integrated reporting or start reporting on an integrated platform on an integrated basis, what are the challenges? An organization must be aware of the following concepting changes: that is materiality, data quality, assurance, lack of standards, tone, etc. Materiality means what are material for an organization that organization should fix. What is the cap, the benchmark which they should report? Because IR integrated report follows a multi-capital approach. A provider needs a materiality filter. For example, what financial capital information does a user of the report want to know? A successful start to integrated report requires a proper materiality definition process. Then data quality. Whatever data we get, even in financial reporting, also we used to say the fairness of the report, or the quality of the report, or quality of the data which we are taking for the report. So when we prepare integrated reporting, the data which we are collecting should be of good quality. That means it should not be having any kind of errors, because material matters are communicated in the report. The quality of non-financial data led is crucial. Internal controls for non-financial data must ensure quality. Then assurance. Although validating integrated reports and more specifically non-financial data may be difficult, it enhances the quality and comparability of the integrated reports. Then lack of standards. Here for the integrated reporting, we have only a framework. It doesn't have a standard like accounting standard or auditing standard that can be strictly followed. So here we don't have a strict standard. So no universal acceptable standard exists for measuring and reporting value creation and non-financial information. Makes it difficult to communicate this kind of information. Adoption of the integrated reporting framework as well as other frameworks such as Global Reporting Initiative or sustainability accounting standards boards can help overcome this problem. The tone of at the top means what the management intent. If the management want to implement an integrated reporting, they will provide whatever we need. So tone at the top means what is the character of the top management, whether they want to implement this or they don't want to implement. Possibly the most important aspect of the success of internal reporting is the tone at the top. To adopt integrated reporting, support from the CEO and the board of directors is absolutely necessary. Then building the business case for integrated reporting. How to set up our business for integrated reporting. The adoption of integrated reporting has many challenges and benefits. Stressing these benefits can help build the business case for integrated reporting worldwide. The benefit of integrated report includes linking financial and non-financial information, which provides more clarity about the value creation process, better decision making and resource allocation, better relationship with stakeholders, more employee engagement, lower reputational risk, more committed customers, better measurement and integrated control system for non-financial information, breaking down COs within the organization by requiring different departments to work together to produce an integrated report, lower cost of debt or long-term loans. Like if you are having a very good reputation or we are creating good value for the society, then we don't need much of advertisement to take loan or to issue debt or equity. Then integrated report incurs cost. When building the business case for integrated reporting, management needs to address the cost associated with, that is collecting and analyzing new types of data, setting up new data sets, hiring people with the proper analytical skills, setting up new internal control systems, assurance of the integrated report, and disclosing true information. So these are the constraints which have to be addressed when we are implementing the integrated reporting. So, okay. So we are done with this chapter. So we'll do one thing.